war is primarily a man's affair. But during the Second World War, a certain number of women in the fighting countries were also involved in the war. Most of them were used as nurses or flag helpers. Only the Red Army women came directly in contact with guns and served as snipers, Air Force support personnel, and even as aviators, pilots. It was rare, but compared to the other warring parties, women in the former Soviet Union contributed much more to the victory of their country. One of such brave women was Manshuk, a young Kazakh girl. She became famous as machine gunner. Here is her story. She was born in the North Kazakhstan, in the Ordinsky district, near the Russian border. Kazakhstan is located in Central Asia, with the most western parts of it being located in Eastern Europe. It is the world's largest landlocked country and the ninth largest country in the world. The territory of the Kazakh Republic was, and to this day is, mostly comprised of steppe and grassland. Kazakhstan has historically been inhabited by nomadic groups such as the Kazakh and Kyrgyz. They speak Turkish and Russian languages. During the Soviet time, Kazakhstan developed considerably in culture, education and social life. Thanks to the Soviet system, the transition from an almost stable type of government and way of life to a modern socialist system was accomplished. The transition from feudalism to a socialism during this period meant emancipation for many women. Otherwise, she would have to take the usual way of a Kazakh woman from birth to marriage to houseworking and death. It gave them the opportunity to take part in social life. When Manshuk was only 5 years old, she was adopted by her uncle Ahmed. She got a nickname Manshuk, that means bead in child's speech. Uncle Ahmed was an educated man who even made it to a doctor. During school time, Manshuk became a pioneer girl and later a member of Young Leader Union, Komsomol. Her adoptive parents, Aunt Amina Mametova and her uncle Ahmed, recommended her studying medicine. It used to be unthinkable for a Kazakh woman to become a doctor before Soviet time. Manshuk Mametova completed an academic year at the Medical Institute in Alma-Ata, the capital of the Kazakh Republic. As a student, Manshuk Mametova was engaged in social activities and worked later in the secretariat and the local council of people's commissaries. It was the year 1941. She would continue to study medicine, but on the 22nd June 1941, Nazi Germany invaded the USSR. Manshuk Mametova volunteered for the Red Army. She was delegated to the 100th Kazakh Infantry Brigade, which operated at the Kalininsky front in western Russia. At first Manshuk was assigned to staff work, but persistently sought to be sent to the front line. To do this, Manshuk mastered the machine gun course and received the title of Excellent Machine Gunner. Manshuk Mametova was appointed to the 1st Machine Gun Crewman. She was finally happy to take part in the fight, but it was very hard work for a small and smart Kazakh girl. The outdated machine gun Maxim was complicated in using, and the whole construction weighed over 40 kilograms. But it was a deadly weapon nonetheless. Manshuk Mametova had proven that on the 16th of October 1943, on the battlefield near the small Russian town Neville, which was released shortly before by the Red Army. On that day, German troops tried to conquer the height number 211 near the Lake Great Ivan that dominated the battlefield. Manshuk, who became a senior sergeant at that time, was assigned with her unit to protect this position. It was a hard fight because German soldiers tried several times to take this height. She was fatally wounded at the head after the Germans used mortars. When the body of Mametova was discovered, fellow soldiers reported to have found her surrounded by 80 dead German soldiers. Manshuk Mametova was posthumously awarded the highest military award, Hero of the Soviet Union. She was buried on a military cemetery in Neville with many other Soviet soldiers. Later a monument devoted to the brave Kazakh girl was erected in the old Russian town Neville, and one of streets was named to her honor.